The Q-2 is a very cool paper airplane designed by Evan Brus, and you can see it features a novel locking mechanism that kind of holds the plane in this half-open shape. And what that means is that the fin stays open and continues to generate lift rather than only being a directional stabilizer at the back of the plane. So let's see the plane in flight, and then Evan will teach you how to fold it. Now, if you haven't already, be sure to check out his YouTube channel, Square Force, where he will teach you a bunch of planes that aren't going to appear on the Foldable Flight channel. So if you are itching for more content from Evan, that is the place to get it.
So let's take a look at what we need. First, a rectangular sheet of paper. Now, the other thing that you're going to need here is a pair of scissors. Doesn't have to be anything fancy, but we are going to make one cut for that vertical stabilizer. So let's get started. Very first step here is to take your rectangular sheet of paper and fold it horizontally the long way here. Make sure those corners match up and everything's nice and even on both sides. And crease that down. Now we're going to unfold, and we're actually going to fold a diagonal from the back corner. So we're just going to go across and match up these two edges here at the top. Now we have an extra sheet here, a little bit of extra paper that's hanging over that fold that we just made. We're just going to crease that down along the edge that we just placed there. Fold that back over, crease it down. Once we unfold everything, you should be able to fold that piece of paper into the center there and crease it down. So now we started with a rectangle, we have a square. Let's get started on the main portion here of our airplane. We're going to take our back edge here and fold it all the way over so it touches this new edge of the paper that we just created. And then we're going to unfold it, and we're going to repeat that fold, this back edge, but now to the center crease here. Just like so. And then we're actually going to flip our paper over, and we're going to redo a very similar fold. We're going to take this back edge here. Now remember, this is 2 layers of paper, and we're going to fold it so this edge here touches that central crease that we've been using for a few folds now. What we're not going to do is fold this bottom layer. So you're going to have to sort of just push it over like so, and just crease that down at that reference point. There we go. Let's unfold these for now. We're going to come back to those in just a little bit. We're going to fold our paper over once again, and we're going to take our front corners here and fold them into our center crease. We're going to take them right to the edge there. They should also touch this reference line that we've been using for a variety of folds right there. Okay. Now we're actually going to take this back edge of the paper, the triangle that we just made. We're going to fold this edge up so it touches this front edge. And we just fold it right over. Bring that all the way down. The fold goes to the corner, like so, and crease that down. We're going to do the same back here. Okay, and now here is where those of you who started with a rectangle get a little bonus. We're actually going to reverse that crease so it folds inwards instead, and we're going to tuck this corner of the paper into this little pocket that was from that extra rectangular section that we folded over. So now, It all fits together very nicely and it locks in place. We're going to do the same thing on this side, reverse that crease from the previous step, and then tuck it inside this pocket, like so. Perfect. Okay, now that the nose part is complete, we are going to turn our attention once again back to these little accordion folds that we made in the back of our airplane. We're actually going to flip the paper over here and we're going to reverse this central crease and the one right next to it. So we're actually going to take it up, fold like that, and then reverse this second line here. So now you should be left, once we fold this back over, with these front triangles that we folded a little bit ago. They actually extend down below this extra corner that's poking up here from the top. And that is the basis for our design. Now we're going to take this front edge here, fold it to the center, as we've done before. So we're just going to fold over all the layers so they touch the center line. And this can get a little bulky if you've been using thicker paper, so just take it slow. Follow that back. And now we are actually going to expand out this pocket. So you can just use your fingers here to follow it to the corner. We're going to be making a crease from this point right here, where these layers intersect, all the way back to this corner back here. So we're just going to flatten this down carefully and swing out this front edge of the wing at the same time until we get this shape. Now, if you've done this correctly, you're going to now have a front triangle part and a back triangle part to your wing. All right, we're going to do the same on this side. Again, fold to the center line. Fold all the layers over just to start with, so you can make sure everything looks good. And then we're going to open up this back pocket, make a crease from this point where the layers overlap all the way to the back corner, like so. Then we follow that forwards, making sure to pull our wing open properly, and there we go. Now, the next part here is to lock these layers in place as well. And we're going to do that exactly like we locked the front. We're going to fold this edge at the back forward so it touches this edge, like so. And then we're going to reverse that. This one has a few more layers in the front here, so just bend that paper over nice and slow, making sure to fill in any little bubbles that form. And once now that this is folded down into the plane, you can tuck it into the pocket that is right here. So fold that into the pocket and then press everything down so it stays in place. Now it's locked together. We're going to do the same thing on this side. Fold the back edge here up so it touches this part of the wing. Take that all the way to the end. Give it a good crease, then reverse that crease, taking care with these layers up here, and tuck into the pocket underneath. Perfect. Now we're going to fold the whole plane in half, and we're going to fold this front edge down to the central crease. This is going to be a lot of layers folding at once. So once again, just roll it over, press it down, try to check your fold in multiple places, like check it at the nose, check it back here, make sure it's following that line pretty well, and follow it all the way back. It's going to be much easier to fold in the back here because we got a lot of weight to the front of this particular plane. And once you've got that fold, we're going to do the same, obviously, on the other side. Fold the front edges to match down the central crease, and just make sure that everything stays consistent all down it to the back of the plane. You can of course use your wingtips to match up the angle of that fold as well, so it all looks good. And this is a lot of layers, just to repeat myself, so don't feel bad if it takes you a few tries to get this looking like a fold instead of sort of just a ball of paper. That is fine. But when you're done, should be left with this. All right, now for our scissors. So I'm gonna get my scissors here, and I'm going to make a single cut from the point where this crease that we just made, when we folded over the wings, that crease intersects this line, this fold from an earlier step here. And I'm actually gonna make my cut perpendicular to this wing fold. So this line that we just made, that's our reference guide here. We're making it perpendicular to that line, not this edge. So I'll get my scissors out here, and we're just gonna make right about there. You can see the angle with that reference line right through there. Nice and simple. Now that we've made that cut, and it goes all the way to where our wings start, we're going to reverse it so it stands up above the wings, and we're just going to help that fold a little bit here. So now it should look like this. It actually looks really nice when it stands open a little bit. That's our design. The last step here is to lock the back end together. We want it to hold it open a little, but not all the way. We don't want it falling completely open. Somewhere in the middle would be nice. So here's what we do. We've got a little leftover triangle of paper here. And we're gonna fold that over like so, just against this crease. We're going to reverse that and just let it hang open. Then we're going to fold in this bottom edge so it touches those other layers of paper. Just like that. And then we're actually gonna turn it over, and we're gonna do the same. We're gonna fold this new bottom edge all the way so it touches the edge, but it's not going to fold the bottom layer. Just like that. So we've essentially just folded that paper over on itself a couple times. Now if we reverse it, open it up, we're actually going to, instead of having it fold in different directions, we're gonna make all those fold the same way. So we're gonna open up this first one here that we made right against the crease. We're gonna open that up, and then we are going to reverse this one as well and bring them together like that. That's kind of a hard fold to explain, but essentially we've squashed down only the outer section here, and we brought it together, and now we're going to use the back here. We're going to reverse those folds again and do another squash. So now what we've done here is we've taken the fold right against the body of the plane, brought that back, and left a little triangle of paper right at the end here. Feel free to watch that one again because it's a little bit tricky. We're actually going to take this layer and tuck it in to the pocket underneath it. We're going to do the same here. There we go. And now, once we let it fall open, it's actually going to have a little bit of paper there preventing our design from falling all the way open. Just going to tie it together just a little bit. There we go. Our plane is pretty much done. The last thing I like to do is just add some wingtip flare here. So we're going to take the edge, back edge here, fold it along itself until we reach our wing point right there, and just hold those at about 45 degrees. Do the same here. And now we have our finished Q2.
Thank you so much to all of my patrons who are supporting this channel and making these videos possible. You can become the pilot of your favorite foldable flight paper airplane, and your name will appear next to the paper airplane you choose in each of my YouTube videos. So head over to patreon.com/foldableflight and join the Foldable fleet today.